Dear friends, welcome to Learning Aboard. In this video, I am going to solve every type of question that has been asked in the general intelligence and reasoning in the previous year. Now for this, I have made an analysis of about 22 different papers that was asked during the previous time, and comparing it with the syllabus, and like I've taken all the different topics, like how many questions were asked and what is the general strategy to solve each and every type. So that is what I'm going to discuss in this video. And before I actually start, I want to thank all of you for the tremendous response that you have given to my previous videos on RRB NTPC. So now first the pattern, you have 100 questions and 90 minutes duration. General awareness 40 questions, 30 questions mathematics, and 30 questions on general intelligence and reasoning. And so those 30 questions, what are the types that you can expect? That's what I'm going to discuss in the video now. And please remember, for every correct answer there is 1 mark, okay, and for wrong answer there is a negative mark of 0.33, okay, minus 0.33 for every wrong answer. Please remember that. Now, so wherever required, please pause the video and look at the titles or questions in details. So this is the summary of the titles and number of questions that you can expect. Now this is what I'm going to discuss in detail in the video, and this is another the second set of titles. So these are the titles that are given in the syllabus. Okay, so first starting with the analogies. So analogies, as you know, you have to find out the equivalent words or numbers, okay, which have similar in meaning or similar in logic. Okay, so as you can see an example here, okay, so circle circumference as square is to what? Okay, so circumference, as you know, it is you can say in a sense it is the total length of the circle. So the square equivalent for that is the perimeter. So that's answer option C, perimeter is the answer for that question. And so here we have an opposite analogy, okay, an analogy that is opposite in meaning. So blunt opposite is sharp, okay, sow opposite is reap. Okay, so you sow the seeds and then you reap the harvest. So sow opposite is reap, that is the right answer, answer option A. So these are so as I said, you can even have number based analogy. For example, 49 is to 81, I'm sorry, 49 is to 81, okay, 121 is to what? Okay, so this is like 7 square, and this is 9 square, so this is like 11 square, so next must be 13 square. 169 is the answer. So likewise you get number based analogy, word based, meaning based analogy, and sometimes you get analogy based on like alphabet series. So that is also possible. So that's the first type, analogies, and you can expect about 2 to 4 questions in analogies, 2 to 4 questions. And as far as completion of number series, you can expect like 1 to 3 questions. Okay, in many papers you get 3 questions. So when I say number series, even the analogy based, because it's basically a logic based, even analogy based number series, I'm considering it as completion of number series. So this what are the logics that you can expect? For example, you can expect questions on n square. Okay, n square plus or minus 1, n square plus or minus n, etc. Likewise, you can expect n cube plus or minus 1, n cube plus or minus n. You can expect a series on prime numbers. Okay, you can expect questions on common difference, right, multiply by 2 minus 1, multiply by 2 plus 1, okay, or multiply by 3 plus or minus 1, and all that. Okay, so these are different logics that you can expect. Sometimes okay, so I have a sample question here. Now just look at the different, I mean, it is not, obviously it is not like any square or cube or prime numbers or anything like that. Okay, so just look at the difference. Okay, so here the difference is I'm sorry, here the difference is 6, here it is 8, here it is 10. So here we have to find, and here the difference is 16. Okay, so it is 2 and 2. So let me try to add 2. So in which case this will be 12. So 30 plus 12, 42. So I'm guessing 42 as the answer. So what if the 42 is the answer? So here the difference will be 14. Okay, so 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. These are the consecutive differences. So my assumption of 42 is correct. So answer for this question is 42. Okay. All these questions are previous year questions that I'm discussing here. And the third type here, completion of alphabetical series. So alphabetical series, it can be asked, like something like complete the series or find the missing one, or even in analogy it can be asked sometimes, right? Or in coding decoding also, like you can expect, like this alphabet based logic. Basically, like the procedure is almost same. Okay, what is the procedure? You just try to list down, like all the alphabets, like, and just quickly at least, like number the some of them for easy identification. Now, if you look at the series, it's very easy to identify what is the series here. Now, this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. There is no 4. This is 5, 6, and 7. And so we have to find the missing one. And here it is 14, 15, and 16. And then after 16, there is no 17. You have, I'm sorry, here it is 13, 14, and 15. After 15, there is no 16. Here you have 17, 18, and 19. After 19, you don't have 20. This is 21, 22, and 23. So if this is the logic, you could, of course, you can pick it up from the answer choice. Like that's the best thing to do, because what you need is the eighth letter. Okay, after, I'm sorry, eighth letter is not, after 7, 8 is not there. You need to pick 9. Okay. Okay. So it should be like this: 9, 10, and then 11. Okay, so ninth letter is I, 10th letter is J, and then K, JKI. Okay, so either you can directly pick it from the answer choice, or you can find JKI and then you can mark the answer. So this is a sample for the alphabetical series. So wherever required, okay, just like write down the alphabets or remember the numbers in the alphabetical, their position in the alphabetical order, and then complete it. So fourth type, coding decoding. So coding decoding, you get like different types of coding decoding. So one type is this, wherein like a word is coded as a particular number. Okay, and then so here again you have to go for the alphabetical sequence. Okay, so like 5, 10, 15, and 20. So this is 3, 15, and the number here is 23. The number here is 23. So together it is 41. Together it is 41. So here G is 7, O is 15, A is 1, T is 20. Okay, so it is 16. I'm sorry, 22, 23, and 43. Okay, so D is 4, O is 15, and G is 7. So together it is together it is, I'm sorry for this, together it is 26. The answer is answer option D. So this is one type of coding decoding. See, sometimes even the question is like cow is coded as 3, goat is coded as 4. Okay, so they'll give you like some other word. Okay, so let's say something else. Okay, let's say something, a word like summary. Okay, so summary is the, so what, so if cow is 3 and goat is 4, the meaning here is, okay, so 3 is, this is a 3-letter word, goat is a 4-letter word. Okay, so what is summary? Then in the case summary is a 7-letter word. Okay, so like that. So even that kind of coding decoding, so it you can have like different logics are possible. Okay, right. And so this is another type of coding decoding. Okay, so here it is, it says father where your mother, which means father is coded as mother. Your mother where your brother means your mother is coded as brother. Your brother, your sister means brother is coded as sister, and sister, your father means sister is coded as father. Okay, now what is asked here, how would you call your sister? Your sister is coded as father, so you would call as father. Okay, so the answer is answer option A. So this is another type of coding decoding. So coding decoding, you can definitely expect about 3 questions at least. Okay, so you have 3 to 4 questions usually in coding decoding. And the next fifth type is mathematical operations, wherein you can expect 2 to 4 questions. So wherein here, I'm sorry, here the symbol division, got missed out. So actually the question is for 11 plus 14 into 7 minus 5 divided by 29. Okay, now we have to go for plus means into. Okay, so that conversion we have to go. So this is 14 into 11 into 14. Multiplication means division, so 14 divided by 7, minus means plus, so plus 5, division means minus, so minus 29. So it is 11 into 14 by 7 minus 5, I'm sorry, plus 5 minus 29. So 11 into 2 plus 5 minus 29. So 22 plus 5, 27 minus 29 minus 2. That's answer option D for this question. Okay, so you get to 2 to 4 questions on this mathematical operations. And similarities and differences, okay, that is another popular one. Okay, you have to find the odd one out. You get typically like 1 or 2 questions on this. So here, find the odd one out. You are given 4 options: ostrich, crow, pigeon and sparrow. And as you can see, among this, a crow, pigeon and sparrow, they can all fly, whereas an ostrich can't fly. So ostrich is the odd one out here. So ostrich is the answer for question number 6. Okay. Now similarly I have another odd one out. Okay, so novels, books, poems and short stories. We know novel, poem, short stories are all literary types. Okay, and books is something like you can publish all these forms into books. Okay, whatever. So answer is books. Books, that is the odd one out because the other 3 are literary forms. Okay, whereas book is not a literary form. So answer is book for this. So you can expect such questions. That's the 6th type. 7th type, relationship, blood relationship. You can expect like 1 or 2 questions. So blood relationship, as we have discussed in the other videos, so people belonging to the same generation, keep them in the same horizontal level. Okay, so keep them in like, depending upon the question, 2 levels or 3 levels. Okay, so your brother, sister, cousin, all of them in the same level, and then like father, mother, all of them in the next level. Okay, and then like father, mother, uncle, aunt. Okay, and then like grandfather, grandmother, all of them like in the same level. It should be like a hierarchical diagram. Okay, so that makes it easy for you to get the answer. So for example, let's look at the question that is given here. Again, there's a previous year question. A is the son of B. Okay, so A is the son. A is the son of B and is the father of C. Okay, so A is the father of C. A is the father. Now the relation is, how is B related to C? So A is C's father and B is like A's father. So B is basically like grandfather of C. So grandparent is the answer for this question. Okay, so having a hierarchical diagram, okay, helps you to easily pick the answer. So the 8th type is analytical reasoning. So in analytical reasoning, you are given a set of instructions, set of information. Okay, so that can be like any kind of a seating arrangement, or like some sequence, like arranging, or people and like their choices of color or something like that. Okay, and based on that, okay, so all are like separate information. When you put together, you're able to form a scenario, you're able to make an arrangement, you're able to come at like some kind of a structure or something like that. Okay, so based on that, you'll be able to answer like the 3 questions that follow, right? And so in this I've taken this particular sample from the previous paper, wherein like you have like 3 or 4 different statements, and then you have to put them together and form a particular sequence. So the first statement has got two parts. It says, so Suresh I'll label yes, Ramesh I'll label M, Rakesh I'll label K, and Jinesh I'll label J, and Pritesh I'll label P. So it says Suresh is taller than Ramesh, who is shorter than Rakesh. So Ramesh is shorter than Rakesh. Okay, so this is like first statement and second statement. And Jinesh is taller than the shortest person, but shorter than Rakesh. Jinesh is taller than the shortest person, but shorter than Rakesh, which means Rakesh is okay. So this I'll take it as third statement. Now Pritesh is taller than Suresh. Pritesh is taller than Suresh, but shorter than Jinesh. Shorter than Jinesh. So I have about 4 statements. Now let me put this together. Let me put this together. Okay. So I have a sequence here J, P, and S, and we know S is taller than M. Okay, and we know from the second statement that K is taller than J. So we have a sequence here. Okay, now let us try to answer the questions that are here. So one of the questions is, who is the shortest? So from the given one, okay, Ramesh M, he is the shortest. Okay, so answer is answer option B, Ramesh. Now, so there are 3 questions. I'll just solve 2 of them. So the sequence is K, J, P, S, and M. So which of the following is correct? Suresh is taller than Jinesh. No, Suresh is not taller than Jinesh. You can deny it from the statement itself explicitly, also from the answer here. Pritesh is shorter than Rakesh. Yes, that is true. Okay, Pritesh, Rakesh is taller, so this is correct. Anyhow, we'll confirm and eliminate option C and D. Jinesh is taller than Rakesh. That is Jinesh is taller than Rakesh. That is not true. Okay, because Rakesh is taller and Ramesh is taller than no, Ramesh is the shortest, so that's ruled out. Okay, so the answer is answer option B for this question. So analytical reasoning, you get another 3 questions. Okay, now syllogism, very important. Okay, you get 1 question in syllogism in almost all the papers. So syllogisms, you can of course use Venn diagrams. So the first statement, so syllogism, yes, you have statement and conclusion. You have to say which conclusion follows, which doesn't follow. That is what you have to do in syllogism here. So all birds are tall. So you can represent bird as a circle, and then all birds are tall. So the whole circle is within this circle tall. Some tall are peacocks. So some tall are peacocks. You can write it like this. Okay, so some tall are peacocks. You can write it this way, or you have bird, you have tall, okay, and peacock can even touch birds. That is also possible. So 2 possibilities. So let's see the conclusions. Some birds are peacocks. See, in the first one, that doesn't happen. Okay, in the second one, that is true. So it is not a definite conclusion. So conclusion 1 doesn't follow always. Now some peacocks are tall. Now in both the cases, now here some peacocks are tall, yes. Now some peacocks are tall, yes. Here also peacock is part of tall. Here in both the cases peacock is part of tall. So some peacocks are tall, it follows always. So the answer is only conclusion 2 follows. So this is a typical syllogism question. The next type is jumbling question. So this is a very interesting question, and you get definitely 1 question on jumbling. So what usually happens is that you are given meaningful words, but in a the letters are actually, the alphabets are actually jumbled. Okay, now from the jumbled word you have to get a meaningful word, and then either you have to find the odd one out, like the example given here, or sometimes you are asked to arrange them in the alphabetical sequence, and then a question is asked based on that. Is the meaningful words you are supposed to arrange in alphabetical order, and then the questions are asked based on that. Okay, so here we have to arrange them in a meaningful way, and then you have to find the odd one out. Now among the different ones, this is just a 3-letter word, so we can just start from here. We can predict that this is den. Okay, so later on from that you can guess this is roof, and this before that you can guess this is nest. Okay, so based on this you can think of this as burrow. Okay, you can rearrange to get burrow. Now burrow is a hole or a tunnel for a rabbit like animal, den is for lion, and nest is for a bird. Okay, so roof you can probably associate with human being. Okay, so roof is the odd one out. Okay, whereas the other three are meant for the place of living for animals or birds. Okay, so roof is not for animals or birds. You can probably most often you can relate it with human beings. So the answer is roof. That's answer option C. Okay, ORFO. That's the the odd one out. So very interesting type, jumbling. And so next you have in Venn diagrams, you have definitely 3 questions. So either it is like set theory based Venn diagrams or it's a figure based Venn diagram. Okay, so let's see a sample here. Okay, so a set theory based Venn diagram. So where you have 3 variables, cricket, football and volleyball. So I'll go for a 3 circle one. Of course, you can also use the formula like A union B union C formula, etc. You can use. Okay, but I'll just solve it using Venn diagrams. So cricket, football and volleyball. Cricket you have so totally you have 60, in which cricket 25 play cricket and 30 play football and 24 play volleyball. Okay, and so 10 play cricket and football. So 10 is common between these two, and 9 play cricket and volleyball. So 9 common between the two, and volleyball and football 12 play, right, and 5 play all the 3. So 5 here. So if the common area between cricket and football is 10, in which 5 play all the 3, so this is 5, and common area between volleyball and football is 12, so this common between all the 3 is 5, so this is 7. Similarly, this is 4. Okay, now this whole circle. Okay, so let's see if you can answer it. Now we can just answer how many students play exactly 2 games. So which is this 5, 4 and 7. Okay, so 5 plus 4 plus 7, that's 16. That's answer option D. Okay, now what is the next question? So how many students do not play any of the 3 games? So we need the total number of people who play at least one of the 3 games. Okay, so which means the complete circle is the cricket circle is 25, and the other part is the common area is 14, so this is 11, and football circle is 30, common area is 17, so this is 13, and volleyball circle is 24, common area is 16, so this is 8. So if you add all the values in the circle, you will get 16, 29, 36, 41, 45 and 53. So that's 53 people who play at least one of the games is 53. Total it's given as 60, so 60 minus 53, so 7 people do not play any of the 3 games. That's answer option C. So I'm just skipping the third question. So this is one type. The other type is wherein like you are given question like this. So for example, this is the people number of the values that are represented in triangle is people who like tiger, and people who like leopard are represented in rectangle, and people who like lion are represented by the numbers inside the circle. Okay, so based on that, you have to solve the questions that follow. Now this particular type I have solved it in my reasoning video, and a link to this specific question you can find it in the description below. Right, so you have the complete solution there. Just this particular question, the link is below the description. You can see that. So this is the type that you can expect in Venn diagrams. Now let me move on to the other type. The 12th type is like puzzle. Sometimes you don't get any question on puzzle, and otherwise you get one question on puzzle, and these questions are puzzle or not strictly puzzle questions. Okay, so these are kind of like something mixed between reasoning and puzzle. So I have a sample here. So here it says like X and Y are parents, and there are 4 married sons and 1 married daughter and 1 unmarried daughter living in a joint family. 2 of the sons have 2 daughters and 1 son. So 2 sons have 1 son, and 2 other have 2 sons and 1 daughter. how many male members are there in the family. So just based on the given numbers, what we can do is that, okay, so you have father who is a male, so one male there, and then there are four sons. Okay, so you have four males there. Now two of them have one son each. Okay, so that's 2 into 1, and two of them have two sons each, that's 2 into 2, two sons each, that's 2 into 2. Now if you want to make a total, it is 1, 4, 3 and 4, that makes a total of 12. I'm sorry, that makes a total of 11. So 2 into 1 is 2. So 5, 7 and 11. So the answer is answer option C. 11 is the answer for this question. So this is so one simple type of puzzle that you can expect, or sometimes no puzzles asked. See, as far as data sufficiency is concerned, typically data sufficiency question is like you have in statements, two statements that represent, that give you some information, and whether that statement is sufficient to solve, is enough to identify, is it enough to solve a particular question or not. Now that is a data sufficiency question, and I couldn't actually find any question on data sufficiency in the previous paper. Okay, but data sufficiency is given in the syllabus. Okay, it's given in the syllabus. Now, and statement and conclusion. So statement and conclusion, typically what you have is you are given like two statements and then two conclusion. You have to find out, okay, which conclusion is valid, either one or two, or either both, or like, or neither, or the conclusions that they follow. That's one type. The other type is like you have assertion and reason. Okay, so whether like the assertion is correct, reason is correct. Okay, whether the reason like is the cause for assertion. Okay, so that kind of, that is another kind you can expect. And the same statement and conclusion can also be asked like the one that you're seeing on the screen, where you have a statement and then the four conclusions. Okay, and among the four, you have to say which one follows, which one doesn't follow. Now let's look at the statement. The statement says the factory has a factory worker has got 4 children and no one else has got 4 children. Let's look at the conclusions. So all workers have 4 children. No, it is not mentioned like that. Okay, only one worker has got 4 children. Okay, and no one else has got. Okay, so everybody has got children. No, that we don't know. Okay, nothing of that sort is mentioned. Some of the factory workers have more than 4 children. We don't know. Okay, nothing of that sort is mentioned. Only one worker in the factory has exactly 4 children. Now that is the correct conclusion. Answer is answer option D. Now that is what when you put them together, put the two statements together, and that is what the conclusion means. So the answer is answer option D. So statement and conclusion, you typically get 2 questions of this type. And then statements and course of action, I was not able to identify any questions of that type. Even decision making also I was not able to identify from the previous paper. And so there is one type given as maps, which I'll call it as direction sense. And in many papers no such questions were asked. In some papers there is one question asked. One of them, like you see it as a sample here. For questions on maps or like direction sense, what you have to do is you have to follow a guideline, okay, wherein you mark the directions like north, south, east and west. Okay, and then solve the question. Let's look at the example here. Julie started walking in the north direction. So let's say Julie starts here and walks towards her north, and then she turns towards her left, and then towards her okay, so turns towards her left, and then later on to her right. Okay, so she goes in this direction. Okay, and then towards her right. Okay, so right is this. Okay, and then she further turned right. Okay, so she further turned right is this. Now which direction is she facing now? Okay, which direction is she facing now? So this direction, that's east. She is facing east. So answer is east for this question number 17. I'm sorry, for this question, this type, like direction sense, I have got one sample, right? So this is one that you can expect. And the interpretation of graphs, we can also call it as data interpretation. So not just graphs, you can have questions, you can expect questions on pie chart, bar chart, graphs. You can expect questions in a table format. Okay, so basically it's a data interpretation question. If you look at like my earlier videos, I have solved data because actually speaking, data interpretation questions belongs to the quantitative part or the max part. So I had actually solved it there in the quant section. So here, like I've got a very simple sample based on a pie chart. Okay, so wherein you have a data in a group or in a family. Okay, the percentage of people who like different actors in Bollywood, and we have two questions based on that. Okay, so ratio of people who like SRK to those who like SK, and people the sector corresponding to HR. Okay, so SRK is like 25 percentage and SK is like 30 percentage, like. So 25 by 30, that's 5:6. The answer is option B, 5:6. And the sector corresponding to HR is 20 percentage. So 20 by 100, a circle is 360 degrees. So 20 by 100 into 360, like that's like 20% is like 1/5. So 1/5 of 360 is 72 degrees. That's answer option B. So typically you can expect questions of percentage and like average in data interpretation. So this is a very fine sample for data interpretation, right? And then so this is what, so this is so these are the 18 titles that are given in the syllabus. Now the other types, okay, which is not explicitly mentioned, okay, non-verbal reasoning is also asked. So sometimes no questions are there in non-verbal reasoning. Sometimes you have one question, and that one question is usually like odd one out. You're given 4 figures and then you have to find the odd one out. Okay, sometimes it is about the missing sequence or the next one, the sequence. Okay, so here I have a missing sequence. So let's try to find out what is happening here. Okay, so triangle which is here, it is going up in the next diagram. The circle which is here goes to the opposite one, and this dark circle here, okay, like goes to the diagonally opposite one, and the rectangle that is here, that goes up. Okay, so let's try to do that and check whether it works out that way. And so the black circle here, like should come up. Okay, should go up, and then triangle should go diagonally opposite. Triangle should go diagonally opposite, and this rectangle should go diagonally opposite. So so the rectangle should come here, and then the circle should go up. Okay, so you should have a circle here. Now which one? This option C represents that. Okay, so non-verbal reasoning, you can expect one question max. Okay, and other type, like see, in analytical reasoning you also get questions on seating arrangement, or sometimes like as a standalone question you get a seating arrangement question. Now in my previous reasoning video I have solved a seating arrangement question. I will provide a link to this particular specific seating arrangement question. You can find the link in the description below. So that is another type that I would like to add. Okay, so with this I come to the end of this video. So I have covered every type of question that is asked in the reasoning section in RRB NTPC. Hope you liked this video. If you have any questions, please put your questions in the comments section below, and please like, share and subscribe to our channel Learning About. Thanks for watching the video.